related to the DNC server?
So,
Absolutely, no question about that.
you sit up here and say about undergrad lawyers say no to this trial. And like, instead about throwing names like Putin and stuff, Mulvaney,
What happened in 2016
and stuff like that. And let's just not forget about the, and I mean, we're not going to do a brain drain here of like what it is, a conspiracy theory, of like what you call ism to conspiracy theory to racism and stuff like that. It's in the name of racism, or in the name of anti-racism, or in the name of like bigotry and stuff like that. I mean, I can say commonly I'm a reasonable person, you know what I mean? And so I may have disabilities and stuff like that. You may not agree with my entitlements or how I achieve. You just might kind of like be jealous, right? You know, I might just kind of be a hater, right? You know what I mean? And so, given that, you know, the isms itself is like, oh, well, you know what? If you look at yourself in the mirror and drag yourself down and say, have I ever thought about like isms and stuff and take it seriously myself and just failed? And 9 times out of 10, if you're complaining, you probably have, you know. And so,
I have news for everybody.
And you know, and so people want to say, oh, you know what? I'm from the Quad Dominican Republic. I'm from Haitian. I'm from like such and such, where we all get over it, and you know, but we were on like the clutches of like holding on to life because of the secrecy of it. You know what I mean? And the true nature, or reality of it, and stuff like that. That you know, such and such, right? So if you look back and say, "Oh, well, you want to include the whole victimization package deal into the testimony, into the conversation," well, let's just look back on like I think it was 2018 or 19 as well, right? I'm almost losing fingers. I mean, I'm long lost fingers, right? So, I mean, and so with that. You are basically in a vicious cycle of like systemically wrong in who you put and who you place around us and stuff like that, to think and try to pass it off as some type of equilibrium. Oh, well, you know what, such and such, when in fact, like I said, you know what I'm saying, you just test the limits of human capacity of what kindness is, or let test the human capacity of what we tolerate and stuff like that, in sense of like human rights and stuff like that. And so with that, you know, you can go screw yourself around us like that, you know. I mean, you've had that kind of attitude and stuff, and that kind of like that interior motive, you know what I mean, within yourself. You know, so I mean, you know, you sit up here, you try to do this fake phone pimping, you know, you end up looking like cheese anyway, because you're telling like someone bigger than you telling you what to do, telling us what to do, and dictate how we're supposed to feel, and dictate how we're supposed to walk around in our apartment and stuff, and where we can walk around in an apartment. What is this? We need to move him. How long has that followed me? How long has that followed? We need to move him. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna do a better than average curve on it, then you need to apply it in all places. If that's gonna be a conversation, you need to get everybody moving. All of these fucking bludgeoned vegetable beach whales moving. Beach whales moving in that sense. Okay? Because you sit up here, you can't fucking distract us and stuff like that, and say, "Oh yeah, I've done my job for the day. Let me get my vegan cheesecake hole." You know what I mean? And pass it off as like, "Oh, you know, the working class, you know, is just taking the brunt of the workload," and to no credit of the unnamed who may not be named, by the whistleblower, whatever. You know what I mean? And how tacky that sounds. You know what I mean? So it's obviously a redacted version of like what it's about, and it's now let's unredact this. Let's take the black, yellow, white out of what's redacted, and you can see the victimizations that gone on, that have gone on, that have been uncompensated for. No due process, no acknowledgement, nothing, none of that type. Under everything, with apologies and everything under that umbrella. Okay, so now if you do the equation of it. Mental abuse times loss of productivity equals money lost, equals money needed to be compensated for. equivalent to money for compensation. That's a simple equation. Mental abuse times times productivity loss is money that needs to be compensated for. Okay, because money can compensate for means I'm going to go ahead and feed myself. Means I'm going to feel better about myself. There's medical, physical, that's like, oh, that was a highlight. I'm doing my part. She's a mistake. She is a mistake. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't need to be reiterated by someone to someone steal my freedom of thought. That is exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're not with that, what I'm talking about up there, so lie for lie or what it is, or whatever you call it, the tech terror that she just pulled off on you, then you yourself are a lie as a country. If you refuse to ignore that, if you refuse to acknowledge that. So that was the productivity loss there. That just made us more hungry. Less money on our vices. Less money on it to make us comfortable enough to say, oh, I can put forth a quality blog. I can put forth a worthwhile blog. I mean, somebody will maybe reach out to somebody that will touch on some things. You can't do that. You can't do that. Then basically, you can't get a decent blog. So that noise she just made up there about approximate 2 minutes ago. Fuck that. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck that. And that's how I feel about it. Because when you get shitty treatment, you get a shitty blog. And that's it. And that's how it goes. So unless you so with that, and not to negate and say, oh, okay, it's all good. Let's wrap it up then. Let's wrap it up. No, we're talking about retro pay. We're talking about retro compensation here and stuff like that. We're not talking about no bullshit. On the track, out of here, U-Haul, gone. Take your shitty hangers and get the fuck out. With relevant and important information about the charge.